It shouldn't come as a shock to anyone that the public service enjoys some pretty cushy jobs compared to the private sector. But I couldn't believe this morning when I read the rates of public servants working from home. Well, listen to this. It's more than doubled since the pandemic. It's up to 40% of the public service federally. That's 180,000 people, or 40% of them now work 2 or 3 days from home. But if you work in the department for the Employment Minister, Tony Burke, well, that figure's close to 70%, and you're paying for it. Joining me now, business columnist for the Herald Sun, Terry McCrann. I tell you, you're watching all these banks and other players, corporate players, doing everything they can to get their workers back into the office. They say it's better for productivity, it's better for cost control, it's clearly better for the staff. But Tony Burke's got 70% of his department working from home.
These are extraordinary numbers, Peter, but they're not at the least surprising. I mean, if you're in the private sector, you have to run a business efficiently, you have to make a profit, you have to generate revenue, and you have to keep your cost under control. And people have to be contributors to that. Your staff have to be contributors. It's a two-way street.
Yep.
They contribute, they get paid. The public service is all benefit and no responsibility. And what you're seeing playing out is exactly that they don't have that momentum, they don't have that pressure that they've got to actually perform. And you don't have a master, an employer, i.e. the ministers and the bureaucrats, the senior bureaucrats, who have the same obligation to get them to perform. And this is the outcome. And the bill is extraordinary, as you know. I mean, not only at the federal level, but at the state level. And
I know they're not at home on their computers either, because you go to the coffee shops in Canberra, I know the haunts. I know exactly where they are. They are absolutely going gangbusters. They're chock-a-block, the fitness classes are full in the middle of the day. They're not working from home. They're taking a lens.
And the other thing it's telling us, Peter, is that you could cut the public service in half, get the half that remains into the office and have them work 40-hour weeks, and you'd get the same outcome.
How worried are you, though, from the comments made by Tony Burke today, that he's actually going to throw this to the employment umpire, and this could be something that's now put permanently into the award right across the board? So if you're a small business and you're trying to get your workers, or you run a cafe, you can't work from home in a cafe. What do you do if this is part of the award that your staff are allowed to work from home?
Again, it's hardly surprising, Peter. This is a government that doesn't want to promote productivity. It doesn't want to promote outcomes for business, and particularly small and medium businesses. Big business can sort of cope with these impositions. But as you say, if you're a small business, half a dozen employees, what this promises to do is to make your life even more difficult with all the other things that have been imposed on you by this government.
How shocked do you think my viewers would be to know that the same federal government and Chris Bowen that demonise coal, that want to run coal out of town, are the same people that will be paying $1 billion to keep coal alive in this country?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the best way to keep coal alive in this country is to allow power stations to run efficiently, coal-fired power stations to run efficiently, to allow the owners to invest and get a return from that investment. But as you say, when you demonise them, you're driving them out of business. And on the other hand, you're now going to pay them $1 billion, and it'll go up. It's not going to stay at $1 billion in subsidies to keep them operating, because if they don't keep operating, because renewables are useless, you won't get the lights staying on. We've already had a taste of that in Victoria in the last couple of weeks. And what this promises to do is to put band-aids on the whole power system going forward across the country.
Well, we've seen in Victoria, though, the Emperor's got no clothes, hasn't it? The Emperor's got no clothes. We absolutely need coal. We know we need coal because the $1 billion from the government says we need coal. We flick on a switch, we know we need coal. But they're still trying to run coal out of town and selling this pipe dream that renewables are cheap. They might be cheap if the wind's blowing and the sun's shining, but they're not cheap to get from there to my power point.
They're not cheap to all that network of wires that have to be. Where you've got one major power station, whether it's a coal station, a gas station, or perish the thought, a nuclear station, you need one power line to run to the major capital cities. And this is just insanity. And it's not only the cost of those lines, it's the cost of the real power stations you have to have, apart from Malcolm Turnbull's big battery, the real power stations you have to be able to run when the wind isn't blowing and the sun isn't shining.
And you're getting into Jim Chalmers tomorrow in your column. I'm going to read that one with interest. Terry McCrann, thank you.